Have you ever wondered why, even after doing everything right before bed, you still wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep? It's not just you, and it's not always age. For many people over 60, the real culprit is something much simpler: missing vitamins that your brain desperately needs to switch on deep sleep. When your body doesn't have enough of these key nutrients, it struggles to produce serotonin and melatonin, the very chemicals that tell your brain it's safe to rest. That's why you may feel restless, wake too early, or lie awake while your mind races. The good news? You don't need heavy sleep medication or endless cups of calming tea. Research shows that restoring just 5 essential vitamins, B6, B12, D, E, and folate, can reset your natural sleep rhythm. Imagine eating a small evening snack with sunflower seeds, a slice of cheddar, or a warm bowl of lentil soup, and finally slipping into a deep, refreshing sleep. I know how discouraging sleepless nights can be, but your body still remembers how to rest. It just needs the right fuel. So tonight, try adding one of these sleep vitamins to your dinner, and notice how your mornings begin to feel lighter, calmer, and full of energy. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this from, and what time is it for you right now? Drop your answer in the comments. You might be wondering, if sleep problems after 60 aren't just about habits, then what exactly is missing? The truth is, our bodies change with age, and certain nutrients that once kept our sleep stable start to run low. Without them, the brain simply doesn't get the signal to fall into deep, restorative rest. But here's the hopeful part. When we give the body back these key vitamins, the difference can be felt in just a few nights. No pills, no complicated rituals, just natural support through food. So, let's explore the 5 essential vitamins for deep sleep after 60. And how each one can gently guide your body back into peaceful nights. Imagine this. You've gone to bed on time, your room is quiet, and you're finally drifting off. But then, around 2 or 3 a.m., you wake up suddenly. Maybe it's a slight noise outside. Maybe it's just your body stirring for no reason. You try to fall back asleep, but it feels impossible. Morning comes, and even though you technically slept 7 or 8 hours, you feel drained, like your body never truly rested. If this sounds familiar, vitamin E might be the missing piece in your sleep puzzle. Vitamin E is more than just a nutrient. It's like a shield for your nervous system. It's a powerful antioxidant, which means it protects your brain and nerve cells from the damage caused by stress and inflammation. Why does that matter for sleep? Because when your nervous system is irritated or inflamed, it becomes overly sensitive. That's why even a faint sound, a flicker of light, or a small shift in your body can wake you up in the middle of the night. In fact, studies have shown that older adults who are low in vitamin E have a 28% higher risk of fragmented sleep, the kind of sleep where you keep waking up, never quite reaching that deep, restorative rest. That's nearly 1 in 3 people. And here's the tricky part. After the age of 60, our ability to absorb vitamin E naturally decreases. On top of that, many diets today are lower in healthy fats, nuts, and plant-based oils, the very foods rich in vitamin E. Think about it. If your dinner is mostly lean meat and vegetables but missing seeds, nuts, or plant oils, you might be slowly depriving your brain of this protective vitamin. Over time, that small gap can show up in very real ways, like waking up several times a night or feeling exhausted even after what looks like a full night of sleep. Here's a practical example. One of my viewers, a 67-year-old man named Robert, shared his story. He used to wake up 3 to 4 times every night, sometimes for no reason at all. He felt like the smallest noise, a car passing by or his neighbor closing a door, was enough to snap him out of sleep. After learning about vitamin E, he began a simple routine, adding 1 tablespoon of sunflower seeds to his evening salad and occasionally drizzling a teaspoon of wheat germ oil over his vegetables. Within 2 weeks, he noticed a difference. Fewer wake-ups and mornings that felt less foggy. He told me, "It felt like my brain was finally able to rest without being on high alert all night." And it makes sense. By giving your body vitamin E, you're essentially calming the nervous system, lowering its sensitivity, and allowing your brain to stay in that deep, peaceful stage of sleep longer. So, what are easy ways to add vitamin E to your evening meal? It doesn't have to be complicated. Just a small handful of almonds, hazelnuts, or sunflower seeds can make a difference. If you enjoy salads, try adding spinach, avocado, or a drizzle of wheat germ oil. Even something as simple as spreading a bit of nut butter on whole grain toast can help boost your vitamin E levels. And here's a tip. Make it part of your dinner or evening snack, so the nutrients are available as your body prepares for rest. Think of it as setting up your nervous system with an extra layer of protection before you head into the night. The takeaway is simple. If you find yourself waking up often, feeling tired even after sleeping, or noticing that your body is easily disturbed at night, vitamin E might be the quiet shield you've been missing. It won't knock you out like a pill, but it will strengthen your system so that when you do fall asleep, you can stay there, deep, calm, and undisturbed. Now that we've seen how vitamin E acts like a shield to protect your nerves at night, let's move on to another crucial nutrient, one that works in a very different way. If vitamin E is your shield, then vitamin B9, also called folate, is like the peaceful switch that helps your brain quiet down before sleep. Without it, your mind can stay restless, even when your body is tired. Picture this. It's late at night, you're lying in bed, and your body feels heavy, ready to rest. But your mind, it refuses to cooperate. Thoughts keep circling, maybe about family, finances, or even small worries from the day. You tell yourself, "I should be sleeping." But that only makes the racing thoughts worse. If this sounds like you, there's a good chance folate might be playing a role. Folate, or vitamin B9, is essential for creating serotonin, the chemical that brings feelings of calm, safety, and balance. It's the same neurotransmitter that gently tells your brain, it's okay to relax, everything is under control. Without enough folate, your serotonin levels can dip, leaving your mind restless right when you need it to be quiet. And the truth is, many adults over 60 are at higher risk of folate deficiency. Why? Because absorption naturally decreases with age, and often diets shift to simpler, lighter foods that don't always include folate-rich choices like leafy greens, legumes, or whole grains. When folate is missing, the signs can be subtle at first. A sense of mild unease in the evening, a faster heartbeat when you lie down, or simply a mind that won't stop spinning. But over time, it can lead to repeated difficulty falling asleep or waking up in the middle of the night with a racing mind. Research shows that adults who added consistent folate to their diet over just 8 weeks experienced a 35% reduction in nighttime awakenings caused by restlessness. That's a huge difference. Imagine cutting 1/3 of your wake-ups just by giving your body the nutrients it needs. Let me share a real story that brings this to life. Maria, a 64-year-old retired teacher, reached out to me through my channel. She described how bedtime had become the most frustrating part of her day. Even when she was physically tired, her mind felt like it was on overdrive. She would lie in bed, her thoughts jumping from one memory to the next, or replaying conversations she had during the day. I felt like my brain didn't have an off switch, she told me. When she learned about folate, she decided to make a small but consistent change. She started adding a handful of roasted peanuts as her evening snack, and twice a week she made a simple spinach and lentil soup for dinner. Within a month, she noticed a shift. Her mind felt calmer in the evenings. The racing thoughts didn't completely disappear, but they became softer, easier to let go of. Most importantly, she was finally falling asleep faster without lying awake for hours. It was like my brain finally learned how to exhale, she said. And that's exactly how folate works. It supports your brain chemistry so that your thoughts naturally settle, instead of running wild at night. So how can you bring more folate into your evening routine? The good news is, it's simple and delicious. Try these ideas. A slice of whole grain bread topped with peanut butter. A spinach salad with avocado and sunflower seeds. A warm bowl of lentil soup or chickpea stew for dinner. Even just a handful of peanuts or almonds as a bedtime snack. The trick is to make it a regular part of your meals, especially in the evening, so your body always has enough of this calming vitamin to build serotonin when you need it most. Remember, it's not about one superfood or a magic pill. It's about consistently giving your body the nutrients it needs to restore its natural rhythm. So, if you've been struggling with a restless mind at night, or if your body feels tired but your brain just won't stop, folate may be the missing switch you need to finally turn down the mental noise and drift into deep, peaceful sleep. Have you ever noticed how frustrating it is to wake up far too early? The room is still dark, the house is quiet, and there you are, wide awake at 4:30 a.m. staring at the ceiling. You try to fall back asleep, but your body insists, nope, it's morning. By the time the sun actually rises, you're already exhausted. Then, later in the afternoon, your energy crashes again. You feel groggy, unfocused, maybe even a little irritable. If this sounds familiar, the problem might not just be age. It could be that your body's natural clock, your circadian rhythm, is out of sync. And one of the most important nutrients that keeps this clock running smoothly is vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is like the timekeeper of your body. It helps regulate melatonin production, the hormone that tells your brain when it's nighttime. Without enough B12, your body may release melatonin at the wrong times. That's why some people wake up before dawn, struggle to stay alert during the day, or feel wide awake late at night when they should be winding down. But the story doesn't end with sleep. B12 also supports brain function, energy levels, and even memory. When you're deficient, you may feel like your whole system is running on low battery. And here's the surprising part. Almost 6 out of 10 adults over 60 have low B12 levels without realizing it. Why? As we age, our stomach produces less acid, which makes it harder to absorb B12 from food. Many people also cut back on meat, dairy, and eggs, the richest natural sources of this vitamin, either for health reasons or because digestion becomes more sensitive. Over time, the result is quiet but steady depletion. The symptoms can creep in slowly, waking up much too early before the sun rises, feeling sleepy or sluggish during the day, brain fog, difficulty focusing, remembering small details, or reacting quickly. Mood changes like irritability or mild depression, numbness or tingling in hands and feet in more advanced cases. At first, many people chalk this up to just getting older, but often it's not age, it's deficiency. Let me share the story of Thomas, a 71-year-old retired engineer. For months, he woke up at 4:30 a.m. every single day, no matter how late he went to bed. He would toss and turn, but never fall back asleep. By mid-afternoon, he felt drained, snapping at his wife over small things and struggling to concentrate on his crossword puzzles. He assumed it was simply part of aging. But during a routine checkup, his doctor ran blood tests and discovered his vitamin B12 was very low. Instead of jumping straight to supplements, Thomas wanted to try diet first. So he made small, intentional changes. At dinner, he added a small piece of grilled chicken or turkey twice a week. In the evenings, he enjoyed a slice of whole-grain toast with a scrambled egg. He swapped his regular milk for fortified almond milk, and once in a while, he treated himself to a cube of cheddar cheese after dinner. The results were slow, but steady. After a few weeks, he noticed he wasn't waking up as early. By the end of 2 months, he was sleeping until nearly 7 a.m., and when he woke, he felt refreshed instead of foggy. "It felt like someone wound up my clock and set it straight again," Thomas told me. His wife even joked, "I got my husband back, less cranky, more cheerful." You don't need complicated recipes or exotic foods. Just simple, everyday ingredients can make a difference. Here are some evening-friendly options. Eggs, scrambled, boiled, or even in an omelette with vegetables. Lean meats, chicken or turkey, are light for dinner and easy to digest. Dairy or fortified alternatives. A glass of fortified soy or almond milk, or a slice of cheese. Fish, salmon or tuna a couple of times a week. For vegetarians, fortified foods are especially important. Look for plant-based milks, breakfast cereals, or nutritional yeast that contain added B12. The lesson from Thomas, and from so many others, is clear. Feeling tired all day or waking up too early isn't always just part of getting older. Sometimes it's your body sending a quiet signal. I need more vitamin B12. And the best part, fixing it doesn't require drastic changes. It can be as simple as enjoying a glass of fortified milk before bed, or sprinkling nutritional yeast over your dinner. These small habits, repeated consistently, can bring your body's clock back into balance. I want you to remember this. Your body still knows how to sleep deeply and rest fully. Age doesn't erase that ability. What it does mean is that we need to be more intentional about giving our bodies the nutrients they once absorbed easily. Vitamin B12 is one of those key nutrients. It's like tuning your internal clock so your days and nights flow naturally again. So, the next time you find yourself waking before dawn or dragging yourself through the day with heavy eyes, don't just blame age. Ask yourself, could my body be missing vitamin B12? Because sometimes the solution is not in pills, but in the quiet wisdom of food. Simple, nourishing choices that remind your body how to rest, how to wake, and how to live with energy again. Have you ever felt like your body just can't tell the difference between day and night anymore? You wake up feeling groggy. You feel sleepy at odd times during the day, and at night you toss and turn, unable to drift off, even when you're exhausted. If that's you, the problem might not be your routine. It could be that your body has lost touch with its antenna for sunlight, vitamin D. Vitamin D is often called the sunshine vitamin, but I like to think of it as an antenna. Just like an antenna helps your TV pick up a clear signal, vitamin D helps your body pick up the signals from light and darkness. It tells your internal clock, it's morning, time to wake up, and it's night, time to rest. When you don't have enough vitamin D, this signal gets fuzzy. Your body might release melatonin, the sleep hormone, at the wrong times, or not enough when you really need it. That's why deficiency can leave you feeling wide awake at midnight, yet drained during the day. And here's the shocking truth. People over 60 are especially at risk. As we age, our skin produces less vitamin D from sunlight, and many of us spend more time indoors. Add to that thinner diets or medical conditions that block absorption, and deficiency becomes almost inevitable. You might be low in vitamin D if you struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep, feel tired no matter how much you sleep, experience mood dips or mild depression, notice more frequent colds or slower recovery from illness, have achy muscles or bones. Research even shows that older adults with low vitamin D are twice as likely to have disrupted sleep patterns compared to those with healthy levels. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 66-year-old grandmother who wrote to me. For years, she struggled with broken sleep. She would go to bed at 10 p.m., fall asleep quickly, but then wake up around 1 or 2 a.m. and stay awake for hours. Her days felt like a blur. Fatigue, low energy, and a heavy sadness she couldn't explain. Her doctor suggested testing her vitamin D, and the results were startling. Her levels were very low. Margaret realized she rarely went outside except for errands, and her diet was light on foods like eggs or fortified milk. She decided to make small, intentional changes. Every morning she sat on her porch with a cup of tea, soaking up 15 minutes of gentle sunlight. For dinner, she started including a boiled egg or a piece of salmon twice a week. And before bed, she enjoyed a small bowl of yogurt with a sprinkle of walnuts. At first, the changes seemed minor. But within 3 weeks, she noticed something she hadn't felt in years. Her sleep began to stretch longer without interruptions. By 2 months, she could sleep through the night most days. Her mood lifted, her mornings felt lighter, and she told me, "It was like waking up to myself again." Getting more vitamin D doesn't have to be complicated. Here are 3 simple strategies. Sunlight. Just 10-20 minutes of morning sunlight on your face and arms can help your body produce vitamin D naturally. Aim for gentle sun before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m. to protect your skin. Food sources. Add these to your evening meals, a boiled egg with dinner, a piece of salmon, tuna, or sardine once or twice a week. Fortified plant-based milks, soy, almond, or oat milk. Yogurt or cheese for a light evening snack. Awareness. If you live in a place with long winters or little sunlight, consider talking to your doctor about checking your vitamin D levels. Sometimes, a simple blood test can reveal what your body has been trying to tell you all along. What I love about vitamin D is how symbolic it is. Think about it. It connects us directly to the rhythm of nature. When the sun rises, your body wakes. When it sets, your body prepares for rest. It's a reminder that even in the modern world, with artificial lights, screens, and busy schedules, we are still deeply connected to the natural cycles of the earth. So when you give your body vitamin D, you're not just helping your bones or boosting your immune system. You're giving your body back its connection to light, its ability to know when to rest and when to rise. If you've been struggling with restless nights, waking up too often, or feeling tired no matter how much you sleep, don't lose hope. It doesn't always require drastic measures. Sometimes, the key is as simple as stepping outside for a few minutes each day, or adding a small piece of salmon or an egg to your dinner. Margaret's story is proof. She thought her sleeplessness was just old age, something she had to accept. But with a little sunlight and a few intentional food choices, she reclaimed her nights and her days. And so can you. Have you ever had nights where you dream so vividly that you wake up exhausted, almost as if you never slept at all? Or maybe you wake often in the middle of the night, tossing and turning, unable to sink back into slumber. If this happens regularly, your body may be missing a quiet but powerful key: vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 plays a critical role in the chain reaction that creates the very chemicals your brain needs for deep rest. Think of it like this. Your body takes an amino acid called tryptophan from food. With the help of B6, tryptophan turns into serotonin, the feel-good, calming neurotransmitter. From there, serotonin becomes melatonin, the hormone that gently guides you into sleep. But without enough B6, that chain breaks. Instead of serotonin and melatonin, your brain ends up with restlessness, shallow sleep, and sometimes wild, chaotic dreams that leave you tired in the morning. In fact, studies show that people who took just 2 milligrams of vitamin B6 daily for 4 weeks reduced nighttime awakenings by 43%, especially those caused by disturbing dreams. That's almost cutting your sleepless nights in half, simply by giving your brain the key it needs. The symptoms aren't always obvious, but they add up. Trouble staying asleep, especially waking after dreams. Restless nights with vivid, unsettling dreams. Fatigue even after 7-8 hours in bed. Irritability or low mood in the evenings. Cravings for sweets before bed, because your body is looking for serotonin. As we age, these signs often get mistaken for normal aging. But in reality, they may be your body whispering, "I need more B6." Let me share Eleanor's experience. She's a 68-year-old retired nurse who spent years struggling with restless nights. She told me, "Every night was like a movie in my head. My dreams were so vivid, sometimes frightening, that I would wake up sweating, heart pounding. By morning, I was more tired than when I went to bed." She had tried herbal teas, meditation, even sleep medications, but nothing gave her true rest. One evening, she stumbled across a video about vitamin B6 and decided to experiment with her diet. She began adding small amounts of B6-rich foods to her dinners: a bowl of lentil soup twice a week, roasted pumpkin with olive oil, and a few dried plums as a nighttime snack. At first, she was skeptical. How could something so simple make a difference? But within 2 weeks, she noticed her dreams were less chaotic. Instead of waking 4 or 5 times a night, she was waking only once. After a month, she slept through the night more often than not. Her mornings transformed. Instead of dragging herself out of bed with heavy eyelids, she woke feeling light, refreshed, and calmer. She told me, "For the first time in years, I felt like my nights gave me back my days." The beauty of vitamin B6 is that it doesn't require fancy foods or expensive supplements. You can find it in everyday, comforting meals. Here are some simple ideas. Evening soups. Lentil or chickpea soup is not only soothing but also rich in B6. Roasted vegetables, pumpkin, squash, or potatoes roasted with a drizzle of olive oil. Fruit snacks, 3-5 dried plums or a banana in the evening. Whole grains, brown rice or whole wheat bread as part of dinner. Nuts and seeds, a handful of sunflower seeds or walnuts with your salad. The trick is to make these foods part of your evening routine, so your body has the raw materials it needs to produce serotonin and melatonin right when it matters most, before sleep. Vitamin B6 isn't a sleeping pill. It doesn't knock you out. Instead, it restores your brain's natural ability to create the chemicals that keep your sleep deep and steady. Think of it like oiling the gears of a clock. It helps everything move smoothly, quietly, and on time. For people over 60, when sleep often becomes fragile, this is especially important. A little extra B6 can mean the difference between nights of tossing and turning and nights of steady, nourishing rest. So if you find yourself trapped in restless dreams, waking up again and again, or feeling like sleep leaves you more tired than before, don't lose hope. The answer might not be in stronger sleeping pills or endless cups of herbal tea. Sometimes it's as simple as giving your brain what it needs to do its job: vitamin B6. Just a small bowl of lentil soup, a handful of dried plums, or a few sunflower seeds could be the key that unlocks deeper rest for you. Eleanor's story proves it's possible, and so do the countless others who have made these small changes. Your body hasn't forgotten how to sleep deeply. It just needs a gentle reminder. So tonight, as you prepare for bed, ask yourself, what small, nourishing choice can I add to my dinner that will help my brain create the rest I deserve? Because better mornings start with better nights. And sometimes, all it takes is a single vitamin, the quiet, powerful key called B6. So my friends, here's the truth. Deep, restful sleep is not something we lose forever just because we get older. Often, it's simply our body asking for the right nourishment, those quiet, essential vitamins that keep our nerves calm, our minds peaceful, and our internal clock running smoothly. We've talked about 5 of the most important. Vitamin E, the shield that protects your nervous system. Folate, B9, the calming switch for your racing thoughts. Vitamin B12, the clock setter that keeps your rhythm in sync. Vitamin D, the sunlight antenna that connects you to nature's cycle. Vitamin B6, the key that unlocks serotonin and melatonin for deep, dreamless rest. None of these require complicated routines or heavy medication. Sometimes it's as simple as a handful of sunflower seeds, a bowl of lentil soup, a slice of cheese, or a short walk in the morning sun.